Hello, welcome to DataSunrise demo. In this demo, I will show you how DataSunrise now supports vector databases. A vector database can store vectors such as fixed lengths, lists of numbers, along with other data items. And vector databases can be used for similarity search, for semantic search, multimodal search, recommendation engines, and also for object detection. And DataSunrise since version 10.1 supports Qdrant self-hosted instance and Qdrant cloud. Now let's see how to configure Qdrant vector database in DataSunrise for audit purposes. So we can go to configuration, and here I have Qdrant at localhost. How to configure this database? So if I create a new, then I select this engine database type. I need to point out here the address of my host as also the hostname of gRPC hostname IP address. So, and also this supports API token, which just part of security provided by Qdrant. Now, my instance is up and running here, and my Qdrant is running on the local host on this port, and the proxy is listening to the traffic on this port. Now let's see how I configured my audit rule to capture all queries from Qdrant client to the Qdrant instance. Let's go to audit and select here this Qdrant vector database. And let's inside of this rule, I'm going to log event in my audit storage and save query results and variables connected to the query. And also I've selected here all query types, and it means that all query types will be captured in this case. So, and also I'm going to enable this rule, right? How can I test this rule? Well, I can use several ways, and one of the ways is to query some data by using Python. And I'm going to use Python to query some data through DataSunrise in the proxy mode. Well, I use this Visual Studio Code, and this piece of code will help me to connect to the Qdrant server. And here I pointed out to the proxy port number, localhost, which keeps my proxy. And I'm going to call collections to get all collections and print OK if I receive some data in the collection. I'll run this code now. Let's see. And the query returned OK, so it means that the collection was retrieved. The names of collections were retrieved. Now, the rule is activated. And let's go to this rule and see how it provided me with it. Now switch back to DataSunrise Web UI, and I see that the database type Qdrant and Qdrant demo rule triggered 2 times. First, that was a session open, and then the query type also was the query get collections. Now, what if I'm going to not retrieve data, but if I want to put some data, then I'll use another piece of code in Python to show you how to put this, for example, the collection, and then see results in DataSunrise. Now back to my Python, and I'm going to use this piece of code to connect to this vector database, and also I'm going to create collection in the client and put there some data. Let's run this Python script. Yeah, it's okay. So I created some demo collection in my vector database. Now let's go back to DataSunrise Web UI. Now in the transactional trails of DataSunrise, I can refresh this page slightly. So I see that extra events happen. So one of them is this new session and then the new collection was put into the Qdrant, right? So if we click this ID, then we see that the put statement was with collections, a demo collection, and the response also was recorded here as well. And we see all the information about the login, application used, and so on. With DataSunrise audit rules, we can also intercept and save query results of the query. DataSunrise also can support Qdrant web UI, and I will be using this UI. So this is connected through 6363, which is a proxy port of DataSunrise. So I'll refresh this page. I see the demo collection was added here, and I can see it now. If I'll go to Midjourney collection, then this tool will send a request through DataSunrise, and this result set will flow through DataSunrise in the proxy mode in audit rules. So I see there's some file name, URI, and other so-called payload. Now, if we go back to DataSunrise, we'll go to transactional trails. Well, let's refresh this page. And we see these events connected to scrolling with this post query to Qdrant database. And we see the payload here presents the data was retrieved from the Qdrant database, and it was intercepted and recorded by DataSunrise audit rule. Now we see that DataSunrise, since version 10.1, supports Qdrant vector database. Thank you for watching.